Hello, 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 and welcome back to another special edition of Mondays with Matt. I am so excited and delighted to have you here, to everybody watching live, watching on the replay, watching from wherever you're watching, all over the place. Hi, Sarah Ritchie, so nice to see you. Give me a 1. Let me know you're excited to be here for Mondays with Matt, because I know I am delighted to have you for this very special injury edition of Mondays with Matt. Yes, I am dealing with a pretty intense back injury at this very moment. I'm feeling it at this very moment. It's radiating up and down my spine. Hi, Heather Kennedy, so nice to see you. And I alternate between a lot of emotions around this injury, but I'm going to get into it in a little bit. I'm not going to do that yet. Hi, Sally Zeckman. So nice to see you, sweetheart. And so for those of you that don't know me, my name is Matt Schaefer. I'm a transformational speaker and coach for women. I coach women around empowerment, connection, and relationship. And I'm absolutely obsessed with the work that I do and the women that I serve, my marvelous, magnificent magnettes. Many of whom watch this show each and every week, just like Jamie, Marie, Tamenia Keels, Yvette Labajo, Heather Kennedy. Give me a 1 if you were a magnet watching right now. I am so excited to have you here. Let me move this slide over a tiny bit. There we go. Now we got a little bit more balanced lighting going on. Studio is still kind of half done, as you can see, but I promise we will be getting it together. And Susan Alice, Catalina Downey is here. Sherry Woodard is here. What's up, ladies? Leanne Cuppas. I love you, ladies, so much. And again, it is my honor to serve you and to share this live experience with you every week. This is my weekly Facebook Live Mondays with Matt, a show that I've been doing every week live since January 2nd of 2017. Yes, that's a 7. That's a 7. 2017. I have not missed a week. I do this show specifically to serve and support and inspire my community. Mondays with Matt is my weekly co-creative live that I do with you, completely unscripted, around leadership, transformation, emotional intelligence, love, relationship, connection, basically all the stuff that I am so passionate about and that I'm living in my life. I come to you once a week, and with my community, I have a live dynamic co-creative conversation with you. Happy November, all of you. It's November 1st here in 2021. Happy belated Halloween. I hope you all went out and got spooky last night. If you are into that, I know I am. I like to get weird. I went to a crazy haunted house. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Hi, Sophia. So nice to see you. But I'm excited to be here with you, and I'm excited to dig into this topic, right? Because the topic tonight is something that I cannot stress how important this is. If you want to achieve remarkable things in your life, if you want to become successful in any area of your life, then these concepts we're going to be talking about today are 100% pretty much required, okay? And they are durability and grit. Durability and grit. These are 2 fundamental characteristics to achieve success. And let me just give you an example, just to be successful, to move the needle, to create results, to move forward into anything, durability and grit are absolutely essential, okay? And so when I talk about durability, right, durability is a term, you probably heard it used when talking about cookware, right? Or different kitchen utensils or whatever. But I wanna bring up durability in a different way, like, because I watch a lot of mixed martial arts. I watch a lot of UFC with my buddies Aaron and Victor and everything else. And durability is a phrase that's used a lot with UFC fighters, right? A fighter's durability will often be a huge component of how far they go as a fighter. Like, can they make the top echelon of fighters? Can they win the title? The fighters with the greater durability have a much higher chance of getting there, right? So what does it mean to be durable? What is durability as a characteristic? Miss Kelsey Frost nailed it a little bit, right? She said, you got to be able to take a licking and keep on kicking. Yes, 100%, right? Being durable means you are able to deal with turmoil, you're able to deal with stress, you're able to deal with trauma, you're able to deal with pain, you're able to deal with discomfort, and continue to stay focused on what you're doing, or refocus on what you're doing, to not allow it to derail you from whatever your objective is. The level of durability you have is the level of trauma or stress or strain you can be put under while remaining focused and moving towards what it is that you want. So I want you to start off right now by asking yourself, where do you feel your durability is at? Where do you feel your durability is at, right? If one thing goes wrong, right? If you have one shitty date, do you say, forget it, all men suck? You know, if you have one setback in your career, do you go, you know what? Maybe I'm just not meant to be doing this. Because I'm here to tell you, durability is a tremendous asset for you in your journey of wherever it is you're going. Because guess what, y'all? It ain't going to be a smooth ride. If you're trying to achieve big things in your life, if you have a big vision for your life, if you have passions that you want to build upon and expand, guess what? You're going to have to work. You get to develop a tremendous amount of durability because you are going to take some shots. It isn't always going to be easy. The seas are going to get rough. Shit is going to go down. Like for me tonight, right? Durability and tenacity. Tenacity is another great word, Jay, to describe this, right? But durability and tenacity is another word for having that sort of stubbornness. And that's gonna go with the next title, the next word we're gonna talk about, which is grit. Okay? But so I want you to check in with yourself on your durability, because look at me right now. If you could see down below here, I am wearing a full-on back brace right now while doing Mondays with Matt. And I am in serious pain at this moment, right? To the point where, you know, it would have been reasonable. It would have been a reasonable decision for me to say, you know what? I'm just not going to do it tonight. Or I'm going to do it sitting on my couch or laying on my couch with an ice pack on my back, right? Would have been very easy for me to do that. But I'm like, you know what? Jade says, are you on painkillers? No, I'm not. So basically, long story short, what's going on with me is I have had pretty severe lower back pain since the move. So I did the move. I got into the house. Me and my dad busted our asses putting this house together, building this fence, doing all this stuff. And then I tried to jump right back on my Peloton bike and start sweating out all the road food and all the ACL stuff that I had been getting into. And my back, after three hard rounds on the Peloton, my back just tweaked on me, like the muscles on either side of my lower back. And so I've been dealing with that for the past 2 weeks, and it was just starting to get better. I got a massage last Friday, and it was just starting to get better. And then I tried to do just a light workout today, and I like leaned down off a bench to pick up a 23 pound weight. And as I tried to pull myself back up onto the bench, I just felt my back just freak out completely. And I immediately was like almost completely incapacitated. And this was about 3 o'clock in the afternoon today, right? And I'm going to Costa Rica on Sunday. So I'm a little stressed. I'm a little stressed about that, you know? But so here's the thing, you know? I could allow this. I could allow this. I could allow this story. I could allow the fear about this. I could allow the pain I was in to get me into a victim mode, right? To victim mode. It's so easy when we're in pain. It's so easy when we're in stress to allow our sympathetic nervous system to take over. We go into fight or flight, and what do we end up doing? We usually end up flying. We end up checking out, pulling away from whatever it is that's making us feel uncomfortable. Am I right or am I right? Okay? But being durable means you do not flight. Being durable means you fight. Being durable means you keep moving forward. Being durable means you put on a fucking back brace and you get up here and you elevate above the pain and you connect with the deeper reason of why you're committed to this. You know what I'm saying? I don't care, like, whether I'm in pain or not, because my commitment to you is bigger than that, right? As long as I can get to my feet, I'm going to do this show, okay? So that's my commitment to you. Give me a 1, y'all, if that resonates with you. Jean says, Ugh, I needed to hear this. I just rescued a neglected dog and paid $2K to get him better again. Aw, 2-year-old sweet boy. And I went through surgery and I neglected my self-progress. Thank you, Matt. You're welcome, my dear. Yeah, and we can't neglect our own self-progress, right? I am telling you. And so one of the things we can do, how can we increase our durability, right? We can stop looking at pain as something that we need to avoid. Okay? Because pain is inevitable. Let's just be clear. This is going to be a depressing episode of this fucking show. Pain is, if you're going to do anything big with your life, pain is inevitable. Suffering is inevitable. Discomfort is inevitable. Your ego's gonna die. You are going to be in you're going to be dealing with a lot of pain, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of discomfort, and exactly as Wendy puts it so beautifully, pain is part of the process. It's in a lot of ways, it is the price of admission. So when you engage in CCIA, and what is CCIA, ladies? Consistent, committed, imperfect action. Emphasis on imperfect. It's imperfect action. You're going to be running into walls. You're going to be making mistakes. You are going to be in pain. You are going to be in uncertainty. You are going to be dealing with resistance. Exactly, Cindy. You're going to be dealing with resistance. You're going to be dealing with all of this shit. And your durability is what is going to allow you to say, you know what? Bring it. Bring on the pain. Bring on the uncertainty. Bring on the fear. Bring on the anxiety. Because I'm a fucking tank. And that is sort of my attitude with my life. I'm like, oh, what do you got? Right? What do you got? Because nothing that you can throw at me is enough to get me to derail or to defocus from what it is that I am committed to creating in the world. Nothing is big enough to derail me from my purpose. That is how deeply I am anchored in it. So I want you to ask yourself, what is your why? What are you anchored in? Because that is what will keep you centered and grounded when the shit hits the fan. Okay? So the Matt challenge for this week, step 1 is evaluate your level of durability. Evaluate your level of durability. How easy is it for you to stay focused, to keep moving forward, to keep actually doing this work as you keep going, no matter how much shit gets thrown in your way, right? Can you look at and can you embrace the shit that gets thrown in your way as a beautiful opportunity for you to exercise and build your durability? Okay? Change your relationship with pain. Change your relationship with uncertainty and risk and be like, okay, sweet. What another opportunity for me to become stronger. And I'm going to do that. Boom. We had some comments. Jade says, as someone touched upon earlier, you're the best example I've seen. That actually does what you teach and talk about. Such an inspiration and kick in the butt to all of us. Thank you, Jade. I appreciate that so much. That's the thing, I really do my best to live this work, even though a lot of times it is very challenging, because I want to be an example for you that it is possible to do so, right? And that it isn't always, roses and puppy dogs. But I'm telling you, it is so worth it, right? So I'm sitting here and you know what's funny? As I connect with you and as we engage and as we build this show together, guess what? I don't feel as much pain. I still feel some, but I feel better. I feel better now that I'm in the process, now that I'm in motion of talking with you. And that's one of the beautiful things about getting into motion, sort of against the pain, and moving into it, leaning into that discomfort and moving through it. As you move through it, as you build that momentum, as you start to get into that fluid, dynamic state, guess what happens? All that pain and all that crap, it starts to diminish. Because your focus is on something greater than that. Pain is the most compelling when you are in a state of inaction. Does this make sense? Pain is most demanding to you when you allow it to fully consume your time and attention. You know? So, yeah. Karen says, Matt, you've toughened up so much with your close brushes with death. The river and the dog is. Oh, yes, I've also had 2 near-death experiences in the last 3 months. Sucked down a raging river with my girlfriend to save her, and then jumping off of a cliff and rolling 50 feet down a mountainside to save my dog. And I will gladly walk into the fire for the people that I love, without a doubt. I will gladly jump off a mountain to save my dog's life, you know? And pain is not the enemy, okay? I think, what did Nike say? Pain is weakness leaving the body. I like that. Pain is a beautiful opportunity for us to become stronger. Pain is a lot of times resistance leaving the body. You know, and then which brings us to, because that's the thing, durability is one pillar that I wanted to focus on, right? And Avila says, would you ever skydive? Avila, I would probably bungee jump. That sounds like it would be fun. Skydiving, I'm not feeling particularly compelled to skydive. And pain, and Deer makes a beautiful point, pain can be a teacher. Pain and suffering, I mean, Viktor Frankl said it best, right? That suffering is our most sacred teacher. You know, and pain is a beautiful teacher too. Pain can be telling us to slow down. Pain can be telling us to get more present. Pain can be telling us to do, you know, to pay attention. Pain can be telling us, hey, this is your next big thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, always pay attention to pain and ask yourself, what is it that this is telling me right now? Okay? So, yeah, resistance can absolutely show up. A lot of times pain in our body is because we have somatically stored trauma there. Pain can be telling you to stop a habit. Exactly, Karen Wanky. Carmela says, Jamie Marie says, a comedian once said that people who should skydive are those who show no interest in it, as they're the ones who have the profound experience. Yeah, Jamie. Another reason that I'm not super high on skydiving also is because with my ears, I have an ear condition. I don't know if most of y'all know this, but like I have a condition called hyperacusis where my eardrums are sensitive to certain wavelengths of sound and also fast pressure changes. So for me, falling at terminal velocity in an open air environment, just like hurtling towards the earth and the pressure change in my eardrums, I cannot imagine that would be a super fun experience for my ears. So that's the other reason why I'm giving myself a bit of a medical leave, a medical card on the skydiving. You know, otherwise, if my ears were good, I'd fucking do it. It sounds awesome. Denise asks, how did you know you had that condition? And that's funny because that's another example of durability. Right, because that was a tremendous amount of pain. But I'll tell you, actually, Denise, I'll tell you about my journey with my ears. I don't talk about this a lot, right? Because it's borderline a disability. Like what I deal with my ears. I mean, it's not a disability in the sense that like, you know, I'm in a wheelchair or anything, but it massively impacts the spectrum of human experience that's available to me. Okay, and it's cost me things in my life, right? But before I do that, I want to talk about the other pillar of what I'm talking about. The first pillar of success is durability, to build our durability, right? And the second one is grit. Okay, grit is another huge point. So what do you think I mean by the term grit? Karen says, congrats to the Magnets who just graduated. Woot woot. Yes, massive congrats to all of our new fully fledged Magnet alumni from MOM6. So freaking proud of you, ladies. Let's give lots of twos to them. And let me know, ladies, what do you think I'm talking about when I say the word grit? What do you think? What is grit? I'll tell you. I'll tell you what grit is. Grit, Jade says, get the hands dirty, dig in there. Yes, grit is passionate perseverance. It's a willingness to get messy. It's having guts, commitment, consistency. Exactly, Dira. It is a corollary, and I think a very complementary concept to, Nicole says, that shit I don't have. I disagree. You're very gritty, Nicole Amy Lawrence. But what I'm saying, perseverance, exactly. It's passionate perseverance. It's not giving up. Grit is absolutely critical to achieving success. It's absolutely critical to healing. Yeah, Denise says, I'm reading a book entitled Grit now. Yeah, you're reading Grit? I read Grit a while ago. Grit is a fantastic book. Yeah. Heather says it's taking no shit. I don't know if it's taking no shit, Heather, but it's if shit is given to you, you fucking throw it right back or you put it down and you keep moving. Yeah, it's doing what it takes, exactly. So your level of grit, along with your level of durability, are your ability and capacity to deal with pain and to deal with suffering or whatever, and the level and degree of passionate perseverance you have in the face of anything is going to determine how far you're able to go in this life. So do you have passionate perseverance? Is this within you right now? Are you willing to look at what it is that you want and say, I am willing to go all the way to achieve that? I am willing to put my ass on the line. I am willing to strap on a back brace and get in front of a camera to serve the people that I'm committed to serving. I haven't missed one of these shows in 4 years. There's no other person in my work who has a weekly recurring live show. Not that I'm aware of. Nobody in my space, nobody in my circles. There's not another coach out there that has done a weekly live for 4 years without missing a single week. And I'm proud of that. Not because I'm playing the comparison game, because to me, it's a demonstration of my grit. Beth says grit is like having tenacity. Yes, exactly. It's having tenacity, you know? And so, and I just want you to know that from that grit, from that commitment that I have made to serving you and to doing this show, my entire career has flowed from that commitment. My entire trajectory as a coach and a speaker has flowed from that commitment. The only reason I'm a speaker, a professional speaker now, is because I was doing my show, you know, and a friend of a friend who had a events company saw that I was a good speaker and asked if I wanted to go on the road and build events for him. And I said, sure. And I packed up all my shit, sold everything I had in California, and drove to Texas to start building events. I was in Austin and in Dallas. That was my first time I lived in Texas, right? And it was all because I had been doing my show every week for 2.5 years. And you know what happens when you execute with grit and you keep moving forward with passionate perseverance towards what it is that you want? When you start out, guess what? You suck. And that's okay. You start out, you suck. Hi, Bree. So nice to see you, hon. You start out and you suck, and then you keep doing it, and guess what? You get better. You get better, and you get better, and you get better, and you get better, and you get better. And then someday you look around, and you're like, holy shit, I'm good at this now. And it's because you persevered through the awkward but initial phase. You pushed through it. You demonstrated the grit. And you kept building. You got up every day and you laid that brick as well as a brick could be laid. You didn't try to build a wall in one day. You did it one brick at a time. You did it one live at a time. You did it one job task at a time. You know, and I'm telling you, don't expect anything to come overnight. And don't expect anything to come easily. Don't be attached to living a pain avoidant, you know, soft life. Be willing to be a fucking tank for what it is that you want. If you want to find your king, guess what? You might have to go on 20 dumpster fire dates. you might have to deal with some colossal douchebags. Right? And that's the thing, you know? Like, sometimes the price of admission is eating a good number of shit sandwiches. You know what I'm saying? And because that's the thing, your person is out there, right? And so often the person is out there, the thing that you're moving towards, it's out there. And a lot of times you're so fucking close. People give up when they're so close. There's a book called 3 Feet from Gold, right? That talks about this phenomenon that oftentimes the greatest level of resistance, the greatest level of bullshit, the greatest level of stuff is going to come up right before you get to the goal, right? It's sort of like that quote, it's always darkest before the dawn. It always gets the darkest right before you're about to hit your mark, right? And that is where you get to really call upon your grit, right? And say, you know what? I will not, even though this is so hard right now, even though I feel like I'm going to die, even though every cell in my body is screaming to quit, I want this so much that I'm going to sit in this fire just a little bit longer. Just a little bit longer. I've come this far. What's sitting in this for another week? What's taking one more step forward? And you will not believe what magic there is on the other side of that. I'm telling you, it's happened to me so many times in my life. Like for example, when I was in law school, my first semester of law school, I got arrested. I was already depressed. Completely overwhelmed, feeling massive imposter syndrome my first semester of law school. I was sure everybody was smarter than me. I was drinking every night. I was crying every night. I was a mess. Okay, I was super depressed. And then I got arrested at a party that I was throwing at my house because I had 2 bars of Xanax in my pocket that a friend had given me for my anxiety, okay? So all of a sudden, I'm in my first semester of law school. I was already depressed. Now I have a drug felony hanging over my head. Do you have any idea how much I wanted to just quit? How much I wanted to drop out of school? I would wake up every day and just the amount of pain in my body from being in that container and feeling the stress of my drug felony hanging over my head and my school bullshit was so intense that I would wake up every day and I would be like, I just want to be dead right now. These thoughts would go through my head. I didn't want to kill myself, but I wanted to die. I was like, can I just die so I just don't have to wake up and feel this every day? These were thoughts that went through my head, you know? And you have any idea how badly I wanted to quit and how badly I wanted to drop out of school? It was intense. And I ended up continuing to push forward because I reached out for support from my aunt who had gone through a lot of shit in her life. And I knew that, you know, I wanted to just like offload all of these dark thoughts I was having, all these feelings I was having, and I wanted to get her perspective on it, you know, and I talked to her about it, and together we decided, what if we just stayed till the end of the semester? What if we just made it through exams? What if I just, you know, limped through exams, just called upon my grit, called upon my durability, and just sucked it up and grinded through my first semester, and then just see what happens. And so I did it. I cried in my books every day studying for my tests. I cried during every one of my law school exams. I thought I was fucking losing my mind. I got home from that first semester sure that I had failed all my exams, sure that this was a huge mistake, positive that this was a massive waste of time and money, and I just waited for the F's to come in the mail. Okay, and I literally curled up on the couch. I was so fucked up emotionally and psychologically from that experience that I literally curled up on the couch and like didn't talk to anybody for like a week and a half. My parents, who I love, right? I didn't talk to fucking anybody. And then my grades came in the mail. And I got B's and C's on all my exams. And then I found out that I got into diversion program. So all I had to do was pee in a cup for 16 months and I wouldn't have a drug felony on my record. And I'm just like, oh my God. Everything ended up working out, right? And I went back to law school in my diversion program after gutting it through that first semester. And I went back there with just no respect for any of them. No respect for the school. I basically was like, fuck all of you. If I can get through what I just went through, I'm a fucking tank and I can crush this. And I was relaxed and I didn't take any of it too seriously. And in my second semester of law school, I made the dean's list. I made the mock trial team, became captain of the mock trial team, and I ended up becoming a mentor my second semester to incoming first-year students. All while going to court regularly and having to go and, do drug tests every week with a trailer full of heroin addicts. I would be studying for my torts exam surrounded by junkies in this diversion program. It was fucking crazy, right? But it's just an example of it would have been so easy. It would have been so easy for me to just walk away. For me to say, well, guess I'm just going to walk away from this. This was a nightmare. I'm going to go back and get my teaching degree and, get a job teaching high school English in Sarasota or something because this is too hard. And I guarantee you if I had done that, my life would be fine, but it wouldn't be this, And that's just one example. I've had so many, my entire life is built upon, going after something huge, encountering vast challenge in the pursuit of it. And then I have a choice, right? A choice of whether to embrace my grit and move forward into it, into the fire of that challenge, or to bail. And every time, bailing is so tempting, but it's not an option for me. Because for me, I want to know what's on the other side of that firestorm. And for me, every time I have stepped into that fire, I have emerged from it stronger. I have emerged from it reborn. And I have emerged from it a greater iteration of myself. And it has brought me a step closer to my best self. You know what I'm saying? And so in your own life, Matt Challenge, I want you to ask yourself, what have you done at that choice point in your own life? Have you illustrated and have you embraced durability and grit? Have you stepped into that fiery shitstorm? Because you're truly anchored in something deeper than the pain and the discomfort and the suffering of what that's going to look and feel like. You know what I'm saying? Nicole says, I have the passion but not perseverance. You inspire me to stick with projects and that's so beautiful. And to never give up. I appreciate that, Nicole Amy Lawrence. That means a lot to me. And again, there's magic for you on the other side of that. Dira says, I really needed this one. She said every Monday. Oh my gosh, I'm so far behind on comments. Kelsey says, been there, done that. Full to the brim with shit sandwiches. Love it, love it, love it. Bree says, Matt, are the books you sent in audio? Some are. There are a couple audio books, and then most of them are digital books. Boom. Bevan, I should start a great books list. Well, I do kind of have one. I should do another one. All right, I'm just going to go down to the bottom of all the comments. Boom. Lisa Lewis says, OMG, Matt, this topic is so timely for me. I've lost 81 pounds, and I'm only 25 pounds from my goal weight. Boom! It's been the hardest to stay on plan when I'm so close. It's encouraging and inspiring. Thank you. Let's give Lisa a 1. That's amazing, Lisa. I freaking love it. Yes. The choice point, baby. What we do at the choice point is everything. Nicole says, comfort is the enemy of progress. From The Greatest Showman. I hear that's a wonderful movie. I want to watch that one, Nicole Amy Lawrence. I hear it's phenomenal. Let's see. Deniz says, being feminine in the moment and having fun online dating with no attachment to outcome is why love, i.e. my match, found me. And what do I tell you, ladies? Exactly that. Being feminine, being in the moment, and having fun with the process of online dating. The process, not the outcome, is how you manifest that amazing love. It truly, truly is. It's how you become ultimately magnetic. And part of and you can be durable during that process because in order to stay in your feminine, stay in the moment, and have fun in online dating, you get to release all attachment to outcome. You get to smile through those dumpster fire dates, through those guys that ghost you after this and that. And with every shit sandwich that you get to nibble on in the dating process. You get wiser, you get stronger, your discernment increases. You get another opportunity to practice releasing outcome dependence. You see what I'm saying? And the more you stop taking it so seriously, the less attached to the outcomes you get. And you know what happens ironically when that happens? The better outcomes you start getting. When I stopped taking law school so seriously, and I stopped, giving shit, and I stopped creating a story in my head that everyone was better than me, guess what? I excelled. And so that same attitude, that same energy will help you, will serve you in any area of your life. And it is a beautiful example of grit and durability. Okay? Karen applied grit to working through classroom clutter, and now it's beautifully organized. My boss has nonstop complimented her. Amazing, Karen. I frickin' love it. Nicole says, I got arrested for throwing a snowball and riding an escalator improperly. You are a menace to society. Separate incidents. You are a menace to society, Nicole Amy Lawrence. Oh my gosh. Heather says, yes, I have to stop taking dating so seriously. Stop the attachment to the outcomes. Yeah, just every date is a new opportunity for you to grow. No matter what, no matter how it goes. Every date is an opportunity for you to have a great date, or to have a milquetoast date, or to have a dumpster fire date, and learn and grow no matter what kind of date it is, and look at them with curiosity, and recognize that you're so anchored in your own value, you're so anchored in your vision of the partnership that you want, that no individual outcome that's not in alignment with that can rattle you. You have so much durability, you have so much grit, you have so much clarity, and you're anchored so deeply in what it is that you want that no amount of what you don't want is going to get you to stop. It's going to get you to quit, because guess what? The only way that you fail is if you stop. The only way that you fail is if you quit. One outcome that's not in alignment is not failure. 10 outcomes that are not in alignment with what you want is not failure. It's all just information that you can use to tweak and move forward in a smarter way. A durable person takes the shot, gets the shitty outcome, and then figures out what it actually means. Doesn't take it personally. I had by any objective indicator, my career as a lawyer, sucked, right? And I had the courage to walk away from that, not because I was quitting, but because I recognized that being a lawyer, that exact career, if I had just gritted myself and kept grinding down that trail, I would have ended up deeply unhappy, because I saw what being a lawyer looked like from other people I worked with 30, 40 years down the road. For me, the path of grit, the path of durability was to leave my career in law and keep looking for another more fulfilling, more aligned career fit. Okay? Like, I didn't go down, I didn't stop moving. I just shifted direction and kept moving forward. And then the restaurant happened, right? And then the restaurant happened, and that was a beautiful opportunity for me to practice grit, for me to practice durability. It was the most challenging thing I've ever done, was own and operate a restaurant for 5 years. Truly. Right? And I did a great job of, me and my partner did a great job of building that restaurant up. And then at the end of the day, that ceased to be. And what did we do? We kept moving forward. I kept moving forward, and I started working for I started working in property management. Then I started working for a spiritual healer. Then I'm not going to tell you all my whole life story, but I've had so many crazy chapters on my journey, and every single one of them has given me an opportunity to release outcome dependence, to stop taking things so seriously, to take the shots and keep moving forward, and to stay focused on what I've always wanted, which was to live a free life and make the world a better place by operating from my zone of genius. All I've wanted is to have a life of freedom, where I am able to help the most human beings as possible by doing things that are within my zone of genius. And it feels so good to be able to do that with you. And it makes all of these shit that I have gone through, including the pain that I'm in right now as I sit there with this back brace wrapped around my frickin' waist, it makes it all worth it, right? Because to be able to see y'all resonate, to be able to see you grow and expand, to be able to see you have your own breakthroughs, find your love, find the beautiful magnetic love that you're worthy of, to recognize your own inherent worthiness, to release what's no longer serving you, to heal the trauma of your past, just to be able to be a part of that. God damn, it's so rewarding for me. It's so fulfilling for me to be a witness to your transformation. And it makes every shot I've taken along this path like a shot that I would take again. And that I do take. I continue to take shots, right? But it's always worth it, you know? And that's the beauty and the magic of operating with grit and durability in alignment with what it is that you truly want to create in this world, okay? Boom. Beth Schaeferman says, being outcome dependent is bleh. Focus on you authentically and it'll be more attractive for all relationships. That is accountability in itself. Boom. I freaking love it. Jamie says, I made a serious Monday. I made a motivation Monday today on not taking life so seriously and just to have fun. Ha! So amazing that you are saying the same thing. Exactly. Oh, Denise has a beautiful quote that I would love to share with you. Pain is temporary, regret lasts forever. And that has been a huge paradigm in my life. There's nothing that scares me more than than looking back at my life and regretting not doing more with the time that I have, not doing more with the opportunities I've been given. That scares the crap out of me. Looking back with regret that I didn't do more with the time that I had and with the skills that I have. You know what I'm saying? Whereas pain is just an inevitable byproduct of stretching outside of what and who we know ourselves to be. Okay? Regret is something that will haunt you for a while pain is the price of admission. So think of it like that. So give me a 1, ladies. Give me a 1 if you are committed to embracing your grit, to building your durability, to taking a licking and still kicking, to take those body shots and continue to move forward, to focus on what it is that you want and to not allow whatever, dissonance or chaos or pain or suffering that goes in your plane. You're not going to let it derail you and get you to quit moving towards what it is that you know that you truly want to do with your life. Give me a 1 if you're on board with that. Avila asked, was your restaurant in Sarasota? No, Avila, my restaurant was in San Diego, California. Boom. All right. Kelsey's in. Jade is in. Avila's in. Beth Schaeferman is in. Jasmine is in. Rose is in. Karen's in. Dear Blakely. Yeah, Louise says your body is always talking to you. Yes, and my body is talking to me and telling me to go lay the fuck down and put an ice pack on me so I can rest so that I can be better by the time you go to Costa Rica. So, yes, that is the plan, is for me to go do that. Caitlin Boytek is in. Hi, sweetheart. Nicole Amy Lawrence is in. Sherry Woodard. Boom! I love it, and I love all you ladies dearly. Natalie Minshall, Denise Celestin, Donna Noonan. Yeah, so again, circling back and summarizing all this, right, is life is not always going to be a fairy tale. Life is not meant to be a pain-free, idyllic, blissful, turbulence-free journey. Right? Life is meant to be a beautiful, dynamic, full spectrum experience with ups and downs, pains and joys, sorrows, heartbreaks, sufferings, and exhilarations, triumphs. All of it And your job in being a human being is to experience that full, beautiful, radiant spectrum of experiences. And the only way that you do that is by leaning into the shit that is uncomfortable. The only way that you do that is by saying, I'm a fucking tank. I am durable. It's by allowing yourself to take shots and keep moving forward towards what it is that you want. Through the chaos, through the pain, through the uncertainty, through the resistance, through the judgment of others. And having the grit, right? The passionate perseverance to keep moving forward even when it hurts, even when you're afraid. Okay? So if you choose to embrace durability and grit, you will overcome stuff and you will create better results than other people who may be more talented than you, who may be more naturally gifted than you at whatever it is that you're trying to do. Does this make sense? Give me a 1 if this makes sense. This is an important last point that I want to make here, is that it is the greatest hack. It is the greatest hack that you possibly have, is your ability to say, someone like Will Smith said it best, right? Like, I didn't become, the actor, and I didn't have the reputation that I do today because I'm the most talented actor, or like Morgan Freeman, or because I'm I'm not the best looking actor like Denzel Washington. I'm none of those things. But what I can say is that if you and I get on a treadmill together and we are asked to run, and the person who stops first, loses, I'm willing to die on the treadmill to win. I am willing to do whatever it takes. That is the definition of grit and durability. Being willing to go all the way. And for those of you that want to be inspired, okay, around the concept of durability and grit, read David Goggins' books. David Goggins' book, Can't Hurt Me. He's not a sterling example of emotional intelligence, but when it comes to grit and durability, the man is uncontestable. He's the GOAT. And he has a twisted relationship with pain. Okay? If something is painful and if something causes him pain and suffering, he swan dives into it. Okay? And that book is part of your books, by the way, for all of my ladies who are magnettes. You have access to that book, at least to the digital book, okay, in the 10 books that changed my life. So y'all have access to that, which is actually 15, by the way. Denise says, also, let's listen to our stories. Sometimes we kind of want the setbacks, and we are manifesting that shit because we're actually scared to fail and to succeed. Oh, honey, you're right on. Self-sabotage at its finest. That's a whole other topic for another day. At the very least, yeah, don't do that to yourself. Jordan says, when I played football, I was the smallest guy on the field. And in my mind, I was the baddest, fastest, toughest motherfucker out there. And I was. And so it is, Jordan. I love it, ladies. All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right, y'all. Well, I am going to rest my back and put some ice on it, but I'm going to send y'all so much love. I'll be doing this show next week. What is next Monday? Yeah, I'll be in Costa Rica. So I will see you there. And I am so excited to share this journey with you. I hope that this helped you change your relationship with the concepts of pain and suffering. And I hope that you are inspired by my willingness to strap on a back brace and come and serve and support you to get out there and do whatever it takes in furtherance of your own relationships, your own happiness, your own fulfillment, and your own aligned breakthroughs. All right? Lots of love to all of you ladies, and I will see you next week on Mondays with Matt. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.